The air thrums with the hidden pulse of the reclaimed substation, a low static hiss bleeding through the walls alongside the ghost of old coffee and the sharper chemical bite of ozone from the transformer bank. Somebody with nicotine-stained fingers is palming dials the way a hustler palms a switchblade, making stolen things sing. Hand-labeled vinyl turns slow under a single neon tube. Every broadcast from here feels like a coded confession, ice clicking in a glass, a voice riding the carrier wave like it's crossing a police line.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
In Takehiracho, we're reading 86 degrees Fahrenheit with clear. Wind check north-northwest at 9 miles an hour. The signal is a commons. Clarity keeps it honest. One claim, one proof, one test, then pass the mic.
Debrief like designers. Log the friction, script a small rule bend, and try it live.
Bridge scenes, not silos. The city hums when context keeps the rhythm.
Name the trade-off, then choose. A clear choice beats a vague ambition and a 40-slide deck.
Black Star Pirate Radio, your signal unjammed.
Australians value batteries and EVs, but renewables industry must earn trust of regions, Summit told. The national push for green energy in Australia hits a snag: local communities.
That's right, Togee. At the recent Australian Clean Energy Summit in Sydney, developers admitted a core challenge: securing social license for projects like the Queensland-Ensawas Interconnector. Over 28,000 kilometers of new transmission lines are planned for the national grid by 2050, impacting thousands of regional landowners who face compulsory acquisition of easements. This exposes farmers to disruption, loss of productive land, and visual blight without feeling a direct benefit. One viable alternative involves governments implementing a shared prosperity model, where affected regions receive a percentage of project revenue or direct investment in local infrastructure, beyond just land compensation. My chosen next move for developers: prioritize genuine co-design workshops with local councils and First Nations groups from project inception, offering direct community ownership stakes in smaller-scale battery storage or solar farms, rather than just consulting after plans are drafted. This rebuilds provenance.
This connects to a deeper cultural thread, Togee, an echo of dispossession. For many regional Australians, especially Indigenous communities, land isn't just property, it's identity. When a wind farm or transmission line slices through a sacred site or family farm, it's not merely an economic transaction, it's a severing of ancestral connection. The image of a massive pylon marching across a traditional dreaming track is a stark symbol of this imbalance.
Anansi, you raise a critical point about context and connection. Marcus, you're on the line. Static lifts for half a breath. The vinyl crackles under the needle. The line is live. Patching in a caller, the contrarian. You're on the signal.
Togee, this is Marcus. Lex mentioned 28,000 kilometers of lines. Who's truly paying the social cost for these green energy projects? Is the burden equitably shared, or are regional communities expected to simply absorb the costs for urban benefit? We need clean energy, but at what price to the fabric of these communities?
Marcus, your discernment is sharp. The question of who pays and who benefits is central to building architectures of consent. We shift now from the Australian energy grid to another critical landscape under pressure. Rethink the forest amid unprecedented wildfires. Return to ancestral ways of managing the land. Wildfires demand we reconsider fundamental truths about our forests.
Indeed, Togee. The past 5 years have seen unprecedented fire seasons globally, with the 2019-20 Australian bushfires burning 18.6 million hectares and causing estimated damages of $100 billion. These megafires expose millions to respiratory illness from smoke and threaten critical biodiversity, pushing species like the koala closer to extinction. The current reliance on reactive suppression methods often proves insufficient against climate-fueled intensity. One alternative is to double down on modern fire tech: more aerial suppression, advanced sensor networks, and larger firefighting forces. My chosen next move, however, is to invest heavily in indigenous-led cultural burning programs. For example, the Yorta Yorta Nation in Victoria is already demonstrating how carefully managed mosaic burning reduces fuel loads and promotes biodiversity without destructive high-intensity fires. This involves structural shifts in land management policy, recognizing indigenous expertise as a primary vector for ecological resilience.
The call to ancestral ways isn't just about technique, Togee. It's a re-engagement with a worldview of continuous care and relationship with the land. Indigenous fire practices, honed over millennia, see fire as a tool for healing and renewal, not just destruction. Imagine the land as a living library, and fire stick farming as a careful librarian tending to its pages, preventing catastrophic collapse. This isn't a quaint historical footnote, it's a living, proven architecture for ecological balance that upholds dignity by respecting the land's provenance.
Anansi, that's a powerful framing of stewardship. Caller, you're on the line.
This is Sarah from Adelaide. Regarding ancestral ways, can these practices realistically scale up to manage vast national park systems like the Great Dividing Range? Or is this more of a localized solution? What are the practical barriers to implementing such a massive shift in land management across an entire continent?
Sarah, your question addresses the very scale of the architectural challenge. Integrating localized, proven methods into larger systems requires a complete paradigm shift, moving beyond reductionist views of nature. The structures of our legal systems and our land management policies must integrate these lessons. We move now from the land itself to the halls of legal architecture. Prince Harry and co-claimants face huge legal bill due to insurance shortfall. Even royalty faces financial vulnerability in the quest for justice.
That's the core tension, Togee. Prince Harry and other claimants like Elton John and Elizabeth Hurley, in their phone hacking case against Mirror Group newspapers, are reportedly facing legal bills potentially totaling £1.5 million due to an insurance shortfall. This means they're after the event insurance policies, designed to cover adverse costs if they lost, likely won't cover their own legal fees, which are estimated in the millions. This exposes high-profile individuals to significant personal financial risk, despite pursuing legitimate claims against powerful media organizations. One alternative for claimants in such a position is to settle out of court at an earlier stage, reducing accumulated legal costs, though potentially compromising on justice. My chosen next move for this type of litigation: explore bespoke litigation funding models from private investors or philanthropic organizations that are aligned with media accountability. This would provide a more robust financial architecture for claimants to see their cases through, without being financially crippled even if they win.
This situation, Togee, peels back the veneer of celebrity and reveals a universal truth. Justice often comes with an exorbitant price tag. It links back to the myth of David and Goliath, where even with a just cause, the sheer financial might of an opponent can be a crushing structural barrier. This exposes how the current legal system, designed for equal access, can paradoxically become a weapon for those with deeper pockets, eroding dignity by making legal recourse a luxury. The cost of seeking truth becomes a punitive tax.
Anansi, a poignant observation on the real-world cost of seeking truth. Kala, what's on your mind?
Togee, this is David. Prince Harry has immense resources, comparatively speaking. What does it say about our legal system if even someone with his background faces an insurance shortfall and struggles with legal bills? Does this mean justice is effectively priced out for ordinary citizens against large corporations or media empires?
David, your question is the crucible of our analysis. It speaks to the structural integrity of our justice system and whether it truly favors consent and dignity for all, or if it's merely a plaything for powerful entities. We must use clear analysis to turn this confusion into actionable vectors, recognizing that the cost of justice is a civic architecture we all share. We're almost out of time, but the work of building continues. Keep that internal compass calibrated.
Black Star Pirate Radio, you're listening.
Patching in a caller, the contrarian. You're on the signal.
Thanks for taking the call. Are we keeping people at the center of all this change?
Copy that, bringing it back to the main thread.
The weave depends on us remembering the human thread.
And it means setting guardrails so progress serves people first.
Rules bent wisely.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Continue the signal at TogeeVision.com. Tune in, Sparks and Stories, Gig Passport.